Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. We're going to be talking about the 4 crypto investing strategies that I think are very popular. I'm going to talk about pros and cons of all of them. And basically, this is a great beginner video on how you should prioritize your portfolio. I see a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. And if you have not been in the crypto space for at least a couple 4-year cycles, this is my third 4-year cycle that I've been in. So I do have a decent amount of experience in what happens in bear markets, bull markets, etc. So I want to kind of just save some people some pain by talking about some of these and what I would do, especially if you're like something like a new investor into this space here. So these are basically the 4 strategies that I think are very popular. You have DCA, which stands for dollar cost averaging. This means you literally just buy Bitcoin every day, every week, every month, however you want to do it. You can also kind of just buy Bitcoin in big pullbacks as well. That's kind of a DCA strategy. Basically, you can use like a risk metric. So we'll talk about that one first. Then we'll go through kind of long-term Satoshi value. This means that you basically roll everything into Bitcoin and you might take some other trades with altcoins. And then basically what you do is whenever you make any profits, you just roll that back into Bitcoin and you're holding forever, right? And then if you want to, if you got to pay some bills, then you just sell a little bit of your Bitcoin to handle those bills or whatever you're doing. This is kind of like a almost like a strategic reserve strategy, and I think it's very successful as well. Then you have cycle traders where you're basically trading, but your trades are usually longer term. Maybe you just purchase a lot of assets in the bear market and then you try to sell those assets off in the bull market, and then you can either roll those into Bitcoin or hold them in USD and only buy in the bear market. And you can also kind of mix and match these strategies, right? So you can do a little bit of cycle trading, you can also have some long-term storage, and you can even do dollar cost at the same time, right? And then full-on trader, cycle trader, you really are caring most about the US dollar value of your portfolio. You care most about making profits, and you're going to use those profits to maybe put into other things. Some people will even roll those profits into the stock market if they want something not as volatile. So it's up to you. And then you have full-on trader. You're trading all the time. All you care about is USD value. And that's basically all you're doing is you're just trying to make as much USD as possible. If you're in another country, obviously it's a different fiat currency, but for me, it's US dollars. So very first thing is dollar cost DCA strategy. Okay, so there's an interesting thing. There is actually a best day to dollar cost average. If you were wondering, it's on Monday. So basically, I'm on the Into the Cryptoverse. This is a premium membership, but I like to put my DCA at Mondays at like 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's right before the market closes. Usually that's right after the Fed meetings. And sometimes the Fed meetings are kind of bearish and the price goes down. So I have been DCAing. I put in $50 every Monday, and that's kind of my DCA strategy. Now, I also have other long-term holds and stuff like that, but this is a very interesting one. Basically, this is the percentage DV above the average price. So you can see on Wednesdays, it's the worst day to buy because on Wednesdays, on average, the price is 1.28% above the moving average. This is the 7-day simple moving average. And then for Mondays, it's 0.669%. So it's definitely the cheapest. You want the lowest number here. You can read the description. Basically, it's saying that, where is it? For example, using a value of 1 would indicate that the price on Sunday is an average 1% higher. Therefore, the day that has the lowest value is the best day to DCA. Okay, so Monday. If you want to DCA, do it on Monday. Yeah, that's what we got going on there. So now, what else do we want to talk about here? So that's the DCA strat. It's honestly the easiest strategy. You literally never have to do anything, right? You set up, you can download something like River, or even Coinbase lets you just buy every time. River is kind of nice. It's a Bitcoin only app, and you can basically just set up auto DCAs in there, and it only charges you the fee the first time or the first week or something, first month. And then after that, it's basically no fees. So you can just set it up, forget about it, leave it. And then you should probably look at moving some of this. And then like every, month or two, you can move it to your own hard wallet if you want, cold storage, whatever you want. You probably want to move it off the app so that you actually control your keys. I'll make a separate video on that. long term. Now, this is basically saying that you're going to hold most of your Bitcoin, and maybe I'm going to make some short term trades. Like recently, I bought XRP I bought a lot of XRP, about 50 cents. I was buying a lot in here. I didn't snag any around 40 cents, but I did buy a lot around 50, 55 cents. And basically, I sold up in here. And then I took all of those profits, I bought Bitcoin, and I just left the Bitcoin in my portfolio, right? So that's kind of the whole point of this one, is to maximize the amount of Satoshis you have, which is basically how much Bitcoin you have. Satoshi is, the very small values of Bitcoin, right? Because you don't have to have a whole Bitcoin. You can have 0.00001 Bitcoin, right? So this goal here is to always maximize how much Bitcoin you have, right? So what you can do is also stuff like, you can also trade, Bitcoin to Ethereum, for example. So if we go to let me go to the ETH Bitcoin chart and just show you real quick. So for example, here is the ETH Bitcoin chart, right? So you can see it kind of oscillates. So like right now would be a good time to convert some of your Bitcoin into Ethereum and then wait for this price to come back up. And then you can basically sell and convert back into Bitcoin, right? So we're almost to the point now. Ethereum's kind of maybe a bad example, but I mean, you could look at like other things, even Litecoin, right? So what you could do is like, if you basically, this is how much Litecoin per Bitcoin, right? So the higher this number, the more valuable Litecoin is, right? So you could sell your Litecoin here, right, in 2022 and get X amount of Bitcoin. And then what you can do is you can come down here and you could buy it back. And then when it comes back here, you could sell it. So you can trade alt Bitcoin pairs to maximize how much Bitcoin you have in your account. Now, again, if you're doing this strategy, you're probably going to hold mostly Bitcoin, and you're only going to take a small percentage of your portfolio. Maybe you hold 80% Bitcoin, and then you're going to take 20% to take some of these trades. You're going to try to get in for altcoin season, and you're going to ride that altcoin up, and then you're going to trade it back into Bitcoin to increase the amount of Bitcoin you had. Okay, so it worked really good for a while here. If you look at like the ETH versus Bitcoin chart, right? So if you basically, you could sell your Ethereum up here, and then you could buy it back, and then you could sell it up here and buy it back. And you're basically multiplying your Bitcoin every time you do this, right? So this is like a 200%, right? So you can get a very nice gain in Bitcoin doing it this way. And yeah, that's another really popular strategy that a lot of people use. Now, I think in terms of ease of use, DCA is obviously the easiest. Long term, this is also easier. It's kind of also similar to the cycle trading. So again, you have cycle trading where you're like, okay, let me just go to the Bitcoin chart. And if I want to be a cycle trader, what would I do? Well, if we go on here, let me turn on actually my cycle chart here. So you can see we have these cycles, right? So these same cycles repeat where, they're pretty predictable. We're thinking that the bull market is going to end sometime around, I'm thinking sometime around October of this year. We should have somewhere near a top. So what you can do is you can plan to sell in this area, right? So in the last cycle, you can see right here, your goal is to sell in this area. Let me go to the monthly candles just to make it a little bit easier to see here, a little bit darker there. So there we go. So your goal is to sell up in anywhere in this area, even if you sold 30% from the top and then bought in, 30% from the bottom, you still have a big gap in the middle where you're actually gaining, right? So the goal here would be when the bear market gets really bad and sentiment's really bad is you purchase as much Bitcoin as you can here. This also works for altcoins. You can do the same exact thing. Altcoins get even more wrecked in the bear market, right? So you can pick up, whatever, even like Solana, you could have picked up for like a really dirt cheap price down here, right? You could buy Solana for $10, right? And then you could have sold Solana for $300 for like a 2,600% gain. You know what I mean? So this is kind of like the cycle trading. You take these really long-term trades. You wait till an asset is very, very, very undervalued. When everyone says crypto is going to zero, it's going to get banned, it's a fad, it's going away forever. As soon as you hear all that, and there's a lot of different metrics you can use to know you're down here, but you're going to purchase all of your holdings down in this area, and then you're going to sell most of them up here, right? Now, again, you can kind of do this for this long-term Satoshi Value strat. So you could convert it now at the top into Bitcoin, or you could just maximize your US dollar value. You could put it in something else if you want to put it in real estate, stocks, whatever you want to do, right? So that's, you know, you can put it in a dividend portfolio if you want. You could just take all these gains, roll it into something else, and then you have like a full-on trader. Now, if you are a beginner, you're better off with the DCA Strat. If you have no exposure to crypto and you've never gone through multiple cycles, that's your best goal, is just to buy it all the time, or even buy it when it's very cheap. If the price goes down a lot, buy then, or just buy it every Monday. That's going to be the best one. Full trader, you need a lot of experience, and most likely you will lose money in the beginning, hands down. I mean, I have been, you know, even leverage trading or even regular trading for a very long time, and you might lose money for years before you can consistently make money. And your goal here is just to minimize how much you lose, not even really maximize as much as you gain, right? Because you can lose a lot more than you can gain, right? I mean, obviously you can't lose more than your whole stack, but you know, if you're doing leverage trading, you can get liquidated really easy and lose basically your entire portfolio, and then you're starting from scratch. So just gotta be very careful. Full trader is just, you're trading all the time, you're taking every little trade here. So you're sitting here looking at this, and I'm gonna sell up here, I'm gonna try to buy back here, we're gonna try to sell up here. I did do a lot of trading actually here for Bitcoin. So when we were from April, basically all of 2024, I was doing a lot of trading. Basically what I was doing was I drew a line, something like this, and I drew a line, something like this. And basically what I was doing is every time I got to the top, I was selling, not my whole portfolio. Like if I think I had about 1 Bitcoin, and I was selling maybe 0.1, 0.2 at the top. And then I come back down here and I'd buy. And literally, I think I did this like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. I kept doing this. And I was able to, you know, make some decent profits actually. And I rolled those profits into altcoins, and then all those altcoins basically went to zero. So I lost all those profits basically. You know, I haven't got rid of my altcoins. I'm still hoping that we do see some sort of a big pump. Bitcoin dominance has just kind of been hanging out here up at 61%. Basically what we're waiting to happen is to see one of these big drops like we saw back here, where Bitcoin dominance went down. This is the altcoin season, and it usually happens after Bitcoin kind of tops out for a while. You'll see that this happened about December 2020. So if we go back to December 2020, where were we? Let's go back to the weekly. Go to December 2020. Where were we? Yeah, we basically were at the end of this big peak. So this is kind of where the altcoin season started to happen. We had this big sell-off here. And then, so a lot of people, basically what they do is they're up 800% on Bitcoin. So they sell here, and then they roll their profits into all their altcoins to try to catch a bigger pump on altcoins. Because usually altcoins go up a lot quicker, they have a lot bigger gains, but they also have a lot bigger losses. If you've been in the market even for a couple of weeks, you know that when Bitcoin goes down 10%, altcoins might go down 30%, right? Depending on how big they are. So you have to be careful. And basically, if you want the least amount of risk, just DCA. And honestly, the least amount of stress is just DCA by Bitcoin all the time. And this strategy really doesn't make sense for other assets because of how volatile other altcoins are. Again, if you go look at like an altcoin season index, I'll show you that. There's a great one on here. So if we go back to charts and we'll just go to altcoin season index, you can see that basically we go through these different periods of Bitcoin season and altcoin season. Right now we're in Bitcoin season. That just means that most of the gains are coming from Bitcoin. Most of the altcoins are losing money. But you can see we only get in this altcoin season for, you know, when did we first enter? This was about, let's see here, August 22 and then to October, right? So you're only in these altcoin seasons for a couple months. And this is the price of Bitcoin, you can see. So when it's running really quickly, you can see we're in Bitcoin season. Altcoins are not doing well. But then when the top comes, people start rolling some of their gains into other altcoins, and you can see, boom, now it's altcoin season. Altcoins are doing very well. Basically, it's like how many altcoins in the top 50 are basically, it's the 90-day return of the top 50 and basically like how many are doing better than Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin's always shown on one in this little graph here. You can see right now, there's just a couple tokens that are doing well. I've honestly never even really heard of any of these besides Mantra, so, and Hyperliquid, Pi Network, etc. But you can see almost all these other coins on the 90-day are down. They're red. My portfolio is down, I don't even know, almost 200 grand since December, January-ish. So it's been pretty brutal lately, especially for altcoins, right? So it's really hard. It's really difficult to time altcoins. You also just want to keep most of your portfolio Bitcoin if you want to keep your mental sanity and you want to keep your gains, right? You're going to want to keep a lot of Bitcoin. I know a lot of people who are really experienced with cycles, they keep like 80% Bitcoin in their portfolio. And that's kind of where they always stay. They have 20% altcoins, 80% Bitcoin. If you enjoy gambling or speculating, kind of the same thing on altcoins, I mean, you can do 50% Bitcoin. But I feel really bad for people who are 0% Bitcoin and 100% altcoins. Unless you're a super experienced trader and you're trading all the time and that's your day job and you've been doing it for 10 years, I think it's very difficult to make a lot of money in altcoins consistently without the losses. I think it's just really difficult. So I think the best strategy is DCA, or kind of just preserving the long-term Satoshi value of your account. Basically trade a little bit, roll those trades into Bitcoin. Every cycle I've been in, I've gotten more and more of a Bitcoin maxi, right? Just more and more. I've always trended that way. In the first cycle, I think I was 90% altcoins. Second cycle, I think I was 70% altcoins, and I think this time I was about 50%. And honestly, next time I'll probably be 20% altcoins because they got ruined even more. I don't know. We'll see by the end of the year. Maybe some of it will be worth it, but I mean, I was buying like AI coins have done really, really, really bad. Like FET, for example. I bought a lot of FET up at, I think this is my cost basis, about $2-ish. So you can see, you know, I'm down a cool 70%, right? So that's rough. Render, pretty much even worse. I think I bought a lot. I think my original cost basis was like $10. About the same, about a 70% drawdown. So, you know, you got to be really careful with altcoins. A lot of them just get wrecked. Even my Solana, you know, I bought a lot around 130, 140 bucks. And, you know, I was up here to almost 300 bucks. And then now I'm basically negative again, right? You can see my cost base is about 155. Now I'm down all the way to 137. So I'm actually down on my investment on Solana, even though I've been holding it since, for almost a year now, right? I bought some in March. I bought some later. So I've been holding this for a year and I'm down, you know, and this is one of the biggest altcoins out there. So just be careful out there. These are my opinions on the different types of strategies you can use to basically invest in cryptocurrency. It's super risky, and if you don't have a lot of experience with it, these are kind of just my thoughts on what I think is good strategies. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little bit of different video today. Comment below, what do you guys think? That's it for the video. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys. If you do want to trade on Bitunix, feel free to use any of the links below. I do have a bunch of Bitunix trades still open, down on a couple of them now. ETH is up. Oh, Sol's down now still. Wow, Sol's just getting hammered, dude. All these market manipulators just selling millions, billions of dollars of these assets. They're destroying ETH, Solana, all these. So unfortunately, we got rid of Gary Gensler, so there's no more lawsuits to these people. So they can just do whatever they want, manipulate everything, and make billions of dollars and destroy everyone's bank account. So that's it for the video. If you do want to sign up, Bitunix is an amazing exchange. Just be very careful with leverage trading. Use my link below. You get reduced fees, and you get up to $5,500 deposit bonus. So feel free to use it. One of the best exchanges I've seen. Legal everywhere. That's it. Have a great day, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day. See you guys.